Today I'm going to show you guys how I master a track in Cakewalk Sonar Platinum.
True Sound Studios is in your ears.
Hey guys, what is up? I am Wiesna. As always, we're here at my studio, True Sound Studios, and today we're gonna master one of Arrow Trail's tracks. Okay guys, so just for the purpose of this video, the first thing I'm gonna do is actually put the limiter on there, and that's only, for these video purposes, just to try to keep the levels so it doesn't start off super quiet and get so much louder. This is not normally the thing I do. This is literally the last thing, so I'm just gonna kind of be adjusting this this limiter just as we go, just to try to keep things at a fairly stable volume. One thing to know though is this track was actually mixed down with a bus compressor on it, so it already has bus compression on the actual mix, and so we are not going to be adding that in. Okay, so here we go. Let's just take a little listen.
Stop and stare, do you see him over there? Man, I really like his style and his amorous glare. Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance?
Okay, this is a soft limit. I'm really trying not to let this reduce at all. Okay, so I'm gonna keep this up just so I can keep an eye on it the whole time. For you guys, of course. Okay, so first thing I heard right off the bat, now I did mix this, so yeah, sometimes there's long days and it seems like there's just a little bit too much low end in there. So I'm going to pull up this frequency analyzer and let's take a listen and look at this.
Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance. Let the pleasantry commence. I think
So it sounds like that kick drum. That kick drum's probably somewhere around 70 hertz. Needs to come down. So let's add in. So we got our EQ here, and I'm gonna bring this down. We're gonna try like maybe 1.5 decibels first. Kind of a little bit more focused Q, maybe something like that. Let's take a listen to that.
stop and stare, do you see him over there? Man, I really like his style and his amorous glare. Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance? Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance. Let the pleasantry commence.
So that sounds much better to me. I do unfortunately really love bass. And sometimes when you mix, your ears get just a little bit used to something. So, that is obviously my fault for mixing it like that. But mastering is that, one last time to really clean up things as just a 2-track stereo file. So that is definitely better. So that is always the first thing I do. I always put an EQ on the mix and just try to help start settling things out here a little bit. So that sounds good. All the rest of the frequencies, at least to my ears, sounds pretty good. Maybe a little bit in the high end, but we'll see if we can change that with a multi-band compressor. So the next thing, I actually like to use the slate stuff for some of the mastering, just slight little things. So one of the things I'm going to play around with is this virtual mix bus to add a little bit more of that analog sound. I get to be a little choosy. The revival, which is like pretty much treble, the shimmer, and then bass, which is this thickener, and also this Neve style EQ, the FGN. I just like to add a little like the sub-low, like that 40 hertz type stuff to it. So let's take a listen to this and start playing around with these levels.
Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance? Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance. Let the pleasantry commence. Oh, I think I'm losing control. Hands up, can't you see this crowd is vibing? Screaming lyrics I've been writing.
Okay, so one thing about the mix bus, since we already use a console and a whole bunch of analog gear, and the console, the soft tube console one, we already got like all this analog sound here, and I can just tell that I'm going to need some noise reduction a little bit. So I'm going to keep this noise reduction off on here. But once again, this Brit 4KG console, that SSL sound, I just really like that. I think that sounds really good. You can see we're slamming those needles into the red, you know, somewhere around 2 decibels is pretty good with me. That's really all I add on that mix bus. But now I'm going to add some of this revival and maybe the thickener.
Amorous glare. Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance? Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance. Let the pleasant dream commence.
So I kind of like that. I can hear like the tip of the stick hitting the hi-hat though. So we don't want to boost it too much because it seems like it's really kind of affecting that. And I'm just not going to add any more of this thickener. We already took away 60. I don't actually know what frequencies that adds to it. So I think it's safe to say we'll just leave that alone. The only thing I do notice is, and I knew this in the mix, is that I needed to add more 40 hertz. I can't hear this through the headphones. That's a lie if I told you I could hear 40 hertz in these headphones. So I am going to boost this a little bit. I generally boost it around a decibel, maybe 2. So I'm going to see if I can hear it in these headphones.
Stop and stare, do you see him over there? Man, I really like his style and his amorous glare. Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance? Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance.
So I lied. I think I can hear that 40 hertz in these headphones. It's slight. You got to really listen for it, but I think that's good. Maybe about 1.5 decibels, and this is right at 40 hertz, just to add that last little bit of that really, really subby low end. And I think that's really all I like to add in mastering. This is just little sprinkles on top. You know, this is adding just a little bit of salt and pepper after the, you know, the wonderful cooked meal type thing. So here's, you know, once again, the next thing in the chain here is a frequency analyzer. Nothing really to change with that, but at least you can see what it looks like now that we've made these changes.
Oh, I really can't compare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna.
So nothing too crazy with that. The only thing I do notice though is now that I added that 40 hertz, maybe that kick drum is still just too much. So the next thing in the chain that I love to have is some sort of multi-band compressor. Doesn't matter what it is. In this case, we're using the Wave C4. I use this almost on every single track. So let's start to play around with this. I really want to focus on that low end and now some of the brightness, the little shimmering.
Stop and stare, do you see him over there? Man, I really like his style and his amorous glare. He grabs my hand, saying, hey, you wanna dance? Maybe take a little walk or engage in romance. Let the pleasant dream commence. Oh, I think I'm losing control. Hands up, can't you see this crowd is vibing? Screaming lyrics up and writing.
So like I was saying, I love low end, but it just sounds like that's just going to be too much for me. So, you know, I'm really kind of crushing that low end a little bit, but I think it sounds good. I think that is really all you need. I kind of clamped down these, check out these settings, steal these, write them down. That's just kind of like my normal multi-band compression for mastering. But I think that's good. I think we're really starting to control it. We're getting pretty close. The only thing I do want to add now, where can I put this, is over here. So we have the master bus here. It has another console on emulator, the Neve style though one. And the only other thing is right here is the parallel compression. So this does have essentially a split signal over here for the parallel compression. So let's take a listen to this.
Hands up, can't you see this crowd is vibing? Screaming lyrics up and writing. To hear the song go on in motion.
So this is going to be really low because it's not going to be super blended into this mix, but maybe I can turn this up for you guys a little bit.
Don't you wanna
just super hard compression, 21 ratio. Got the mix up full, the noise reduction on, of course. Really just cutting out a ton of the frequencies, and I even turned down some of the lows again. So just just really trying to add some more girth to this. So I'm going to bring this all the way down and kind of add this in, see what this sounds like. Also watching our master output here. So I like that. That's pretty good for me. You know, just adding, you can hear how everything kind of jumps out of the mix a little bit more, and really just kind of helps give a little bit more clarity, a little bit more punch. And I don't know, it adds something just better to the track. I love parallel compression. I really just love what it does. So that is then blended into our master, and really the last thing to do is just really set our threshold for our master limiter here. We'll go to the chorus though. So for me, mastering is not about destroying my mix. It is, or your mix, or whoever's mix. It's about making it loud enough, but not too loud. I am not in the compression war thing. I do not think compression helps in mastering. Sorry to anybody else out there who crushes tracks. I think that is more than enough. You know, 3 decibels of reduction. It's going to be loud enough. In my opinion, if it's a little quieter, it might sound a little better. It's got more punch to it. I like punchy drums. I like punchy mixes. I think this is pretty good. For the most part, I'm going to listen to this without headphones on, but that's pretty much how I would master a pop rock track. So I hope this video helped. Hope you guys can use this video to master your tracks even better.
So if you guys like this video, consider subscribing and hit that like button. Follow us on Instagram for daily posts. You can find the beats that I make right here at the studio on our SoundCloud page. True Sound Studios also mixes and masters your tracks. So once again, guys, thanks for watching this video. I'm Wiesna, we're at True Sound Studios, and True Sound Studios is in your ears.